are my thoughts on Justice League? So Justice League is the newest DCU film and is directed by Zack Snyder and written by David S. Goyer, once again from the same team that brought us Batman v Superman. So going into this film, I did not have any expectations whatsoever. The DCU just doesn't really know how to keep themselves going in a momentum to where the flow is just natural. And don't get me wrong, Wonder Woman was pretty good, but not good enough to where I'm like, okay, yes, DC finally got their mark. We're good from here on out. So Zack Snyder has finally learned from his mistakes. No, not at all. The thing about it is, the experience I had with this film was amazing. Because I went to a screening and the people there were dressed up in Justice League costumes. You know, people were like, I don't care how bad the last few movies were. We're just going to go into this with, you know, a good flow of energy. You know, we're amped up. And because of that, the experience was really good. I enjoyed it. But I still had to look at this in a different perspective, as in a film-wise. And I say that to say, like, while I was watching this movie, I thought to myself, I know these characters. I know where they come from. So the way that the movie introduces the characters, I couldn't help but think to myself, I really wish they had solo movies before this movie came out. And it's not because that's how the MCU chose to do it, but the way the MCU did it was that they showed us Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, Thor, and Captain America, and yet we knew they were all there in the same world somewhere. They still had it separated to where they felt like a different story, a separate story, to where they're all in their same, to where they're all in their own place. And you can't imagine how this world is going to come together until you see it. So the build-up was truly incredible, and it paid off. With the DCEU, they just want to catch up to Marvel to where they're like, you know what? This is the universe. Here are the characters. No build-up. Here it is. You already know Justice League, so we're just going to give you the live-action version of it right here, right now. I just couldn't help but think, like, it could be better for so many reasons, such as that. Also, Zack Snyder, to me, as a director, he just does not know how to tell a good story. And we already knew that from his previous films, except for the people that apparently love Man of Steel and Batman v Superman don't think that there's a problem with it. I don't understand how, but just throughout those films, you could tell that visually he's great, but he just does not know how to tell the story in the right way. So, because of that, looking at Justice League, as you guys know, Joss Whedon came in and took over during post-production. I couldn't help but think, like, this is the most lighthearted Zack Snyder film we have ever seen, because the tone is definitely, I don't want to say toned down, but just in a lighter sense. You know, more of like a fluff piece type of comic book adaptation. And there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. But it depends on what you want coming out of this film. So, since I didn't have any expectations, I wasn't looking for the best storyline or the best character development. I just wanted to be impressed by, I don't want to say just the visuals, but just the action, you know, the characters doing what I know the characters do best. So with the Flash, I want the Flash to be energetic, excited. I want him to run so fast, and yet we feel as if we're on to speed with him, and they did do a good job with that in this film. Cyborg, I thought was, you know, he was a cool character, but I just didn't really like his introduction so much because of the fact that it really feels as if you just know where he came from. And so we're just introduced to him as Cyborg. So the more I looked at it, the more I thought, I wish we could go back and take Suicide Squad out and replace it with a solo Flash film, and also have Victor Stone in the film. Kind of like in the Netflix series Jessica Jones, where Luke Cage was in the film. In the film. So where Luke Cage was introduced in that series, but then eventually he had his own solo show. I wish that's how they did it with the DCEU. As for Aquaman, I guess his introduction was pretty straightforward, as much as it could be with, you know, cramming in everybody else. To where it was like, okay, I can see his solo film coming in afterwards. I really wish all the solo films came before. Besides, you know, we did with Wonder Woman and all that, but it just still wasn't a build-up. So when I watched the movie, I feel like, I wish they really separated so we can, you know, gravitate more to when it's all together, when it all comes together for the first time. But that's just me, you know. Everybody else apparently loved this film for what it was, at least in the auditorium I was with. And so many people love Steppenwolf for some reason in this movie, or they hated Steppenwolf in this movie. Now, the thing is, to me, Steppenwolf wasn't a bad villain. He was just the baddie that was there, so the Justice League have a reason to come together and take him down. We've seen that in many superhero films, to where the villains, even in the MCU, just aren't that interesting, just aren't that exciting. They're just there because we need a bad guy for the film. And that's all he was in this. So for me to hear that he's either the greatest villain or the worst villain, it's like, no, he's just an average villain. He's there to set up Darkseid, kind of like in Rise of the Silver Surfer, how Silver Surfer was there to set up Galactus. I know that's a terrible movie to use as an example, but that's the best I can come up with for the time being. So overall, the movie is okay. It's fine. It is what it is, depending on what you're looking for. If you are looking to have a fun and entertaining time with Justice League characters, then you'll have a good time. If you're looking for a great and, powerful story like The Dark Knight, or even, if you want to go to MCU, something as energetic but still fresh like The Winter Soldier, yeah, no, you're not going to get that with this. It's a Zack Snyder film. And I really do think that Joss Whedon did his best to fix whatever he could with the movie, but I still think that it could have been better. There's still so many flaws. And I don't want to really, tell you what the flaws are, because I feel like you will find them if I tell you. I'm going to make a spoiler-filled video and post it later on, and I will go deeper into the flaws. But just know that, yeah, this is not a perfect movie whatsoever. But in all honesty, I still feel like you will enjoy it. You will definitely enjoy it more than Batman v Superman. I guarantee you that. But overall, that's what I believe about Justice League. It's fine, I will say, though, I am curious on how they're going to set up future films, such as, like, Green Lantern, that's going to come into play later on. Flashpoint, listen, I just don't like the fact that Flashpoint is the first solo Flash movie that we're going to get, because Flashpoint is about Flash going back in time to change everything, and we're still not accustomed to even the Justice League movie. We just got them and we're already trying to change it. It's almost like taking Civil War and putting that right after the first Avengers film. Like, yo, they just got together. Why are they splitting apart? Why are they going against each other? You need more time to build up to that. I'm not ready for Jeffrey D. Morgan as Batman. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see it, but not yet. I'm still getting accustomed to Ben Affleck's Batman. Because even in the movie, the Batman is like, in this one, he's like, I can't even explain. He just doesn't murder in this one. But to a certain degree, to where it's like, come on, Zach, you could do a little better than that. Or Josh, I don't know, whoever was hired to do that part. It's really hard to say, because I'm going to wait until the extended version of this movie comes out, the Zach Whedon cut, whatever you want to call it, and see what exactly they put in here that makes it different, So guys, those are my thoughts on Justice League. I want to know what you guys thought about it. Did you like it? Do you think that the DC is heading in a better direction? Do you see what Joss Whedon did, or do you feel as if you see what's different about this movie since he stepped in compared to what Zack Snyder did originally? Did you even see in the trailers, like, the same footage, like Wonder Woman in the bank? There's the same scene in another trailer, but even the color correction is different. You could just tell Joss Whedon definitely did his best to, I don't want to say fluff it up, but give it more of a lighthearted tone to where it can gravitate towards more audiences members, especially after Batman v Superman. Whatever it may be, let me know in the comment section below. And guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you want, you can click right here to see more of my thoughts on the matter.